So I got a message from a subscriber today, and he's asking me how do I develop a great thick and wide balanced but massive back that's really popping out, and he wants it to be a superior muscle group. The best advice that I can give you is that you hit your back from every single angle that it can be hit at, and make sure you get the right balance between widening exercises and thickening exercises. I advise you go high volume, you go high intensity, and you train to failure. You really try and completely tap out your back. So to give you the best exercises I think you should pick from for width would be wide grip pull-ups, underhand pull downs. This is for to really focus on upper outer sort of lats. So wide grip pull-ups, underhand pull downs, and then sort of coming lower down in the body. I would say some one arm dumbbell rows. Now usually rows will focus on thickness, but I find the one arm dumbbell row really focuses on that lower lat. So really stick to the rows, guys, if you want to develop that width. Now to develop thickness, I advise that you go with T-bar rows, cable rows, meaning that you grab the cable, which is sort of like a V-bar, and pull to your chest. Do some V-bar rows, do some compound rows, which is basically just a machine row, do some bent over rows, and then the most important part, I think, if you really want to develop a killer overall back, is throw in some rack pulls, guys. If you can't do, or you don't know what a rack pull is, it's basically like a deadlift, except it's taken from a higher platform, so it takes the legs, the hamstrings and the glutes out of the movement as much as you possibly can, and you really focus on developing or activating the back as much as possible, taking away those lower parts of the body. So I'm going to be coming out with a form video very soon, guys, on how to do a rack pull. I don't really want to be going into the discussion out of this video. Just check out either someone else's video or check out my video coming soon on how to do a rack pull. But to go in the depth on how to develop that great back, I would say start off with a width exercise. Most people lack width. So I would say, and this is my favorite exercise, and I think nearly everyone who has a good back says that wide grip pull-ups are a great exercise. I've found that personally. So I would say start off with a width exercise, then go with a thickness exercise, then go for another width and another thickness, and then finish off with a few isolation movements. So I would say go with a wide grip pull-up to start off with, then go on to a rack pull. So two great compound exercises which are going to give you both width. I would say pull-ups focus on width, and I would say rack pulls focus on thickness, but they will give you an insane type of thickness, really help you with some Christmas tree action, meaning that you have a sort of Christmas tree look at the lower part of your back. Third exercise, I would go with some underhand pull downs. The fourth exercise I would go with is some bent over rows. So you've really got two key movements in the focusing on the thickness, two key movements to focus on the width, and then to throw in another width exercise, I would go with some one arm dumbbell rows to really focus on that lower lat tie-in. Then for the sixth one, I would go with a cable row. I think cable rows are great, and they're sort of help you isolate the back. Sometimes I find whenever I'm doing barbell rows, I can sort of use a lot of momentum. That's the same with the cables. I advise that you don't move your lower back. You let your hands go, stretch out as far as they can go, and then pull back and retract the scapula as much as possible. And then to finish off with two accessory movements. Now you can sort of alternate these or do whatever way you like, but I would say do some rear delt flies. Now you can do these on shoulder day if you want, but the rear delts are obviously a part. The rear delts are obviously a part of the back, so you want to hit your rear delts to get the full development. But I advise you do these two lifts as accessory movements. So do your rear delt fly and also do face pulls, because these hit the muscles that most people lack. So the rear delt flies will really help focus on those rear delts and build a sort of middle rhomboid sort of part of the back. But then whenever you do the face pulls, it's a completely different line of motion. The rear delt flies will sort of focus lower down the sort of rear delts and lower down in the middle part of the back. The face pulls, whenever you're doing your face pulls, you're squeezing the real top part of the back. You're squeezing your upper traps, your lower traps, your middle traps. You're also getting those rear delts into play, and you're also activating your back quite a bit. So you definitely want to throw in some face pulls in that day. And there you'll have a full back workout. Now, as far as traps go, you will be getting an absolute fuckload of activation doing rack pulls. But, for every single muscle group, I like to do an isolation exercise. So I advise you do shrugs for your traps. but I don't like to do it my back day. As you know, I'm already doing 7 exercises there for my back, so I like to do 2 exercises for traps. So I'll do a Smith machine shrug and a dumbbell shrug, 4 sets for each of my shoulder day. But as far as that back training go, guys, if you follow that routine, you apply progressive overload, you go heavy, use the right rep ranges, and you stay consistent, you will build an absolutely insane meaty back. It's going to be big as fuck, wide as fuck, thick as fuck. Now, if you want to really go to the next level, then I advise you train it twice a week. You do that routine twice a week, and you will go beyond belief in size. But there you have it, guys. That's the full video. You want to build a big back, then train it twice a week and do that exercise twice a week like a motherfucking beast.